guys, how you doing all on this rainy Tuesday evening here in Pittsburgh? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are glorious and live for my live review of Monday Night Raw from last night's edition, the September 28th, 2020 edition that took place at the WWE ThunderDome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. It was the Fallout show from Clash of Champions, and we're now on the road to hiccup there. What the heck? Try again. Must be hitting a lot of air. Can't do that. Okay. Hell. It's giving me. Okay, I can't do it. It's giving me hiccups. On the road to hell in a cell. There, I said. Apparently my hiccups. I got hiccups now. Great. Saying hell has given me hiccups. What a botch. Oh boy. So we're on the road now to hell in a cell. If I don't stop, I might have to get a drink of water or something. So overall, last edition of Raw, not abysmal as it was last week. Last week's show was awful. In my opinion, one of the worst episodes of Raw I've ever seen. This week's a mixed bag. There were some things I liked. Particularly, I'll say, the first hour and a half, I enjoyed the show. The main event match, I actually liked also. But things in between really killed it for me. Especially with a storyline we got going on. Which, that's another thing about the show. There's storylines that are continuing on that should not be continuing on. There's stuff that's really just to put over an actress, if you know what I'm talking about. And there's also the destruction of another superstar as they are slowly deteriorating one of my favorites, for sure, that came from NXT, that just had a lot to him. And they even took away his theme song and gave him a new one, which I was not happy about. I mean, the new one, which getting way too far ahead of myself. Let's just roll into review and let's talk about this show. Tyler's in the live chat. He gave the show a D. I don't think it was that bad, but again, it was still a mixed bag. That ending of Orton was weird. Oh, it was. We will talk about that as well. But before we get started, let me go grab a quick drink of water, because I got the hiccups from saying hell in us. Damn it. Be right back. Somebody get a be right back sign up for my streams. Felt like doing it again when I came back in. Anyways, so hopefully that'll help my hiccups a little bit. So let's roll into it. Yeah, what's up, JR Campbell? And also, yeah, hell in a booking cell. We'll talk about that. Of course, we got the beginning of the build to hell in a cell on the show. I can't do my Vince voice because apparently that gave me the hiccups. There's a botch of the stream. I got hiccups, but trying to say hell in a cell in Vince's voice. Anyways, let's roll into the show. Let's talk about it. And also, if you haven't not done so yet, make sure to participate in the poll on Twitter for what grade would you give Raw? So far, there's 6 votes. There's 2 hours left in that poll, so just make sure, as always, just participate just for the heck of it. So let's talk about the show. We opened up with pretty much a segment with Drew McIntyre and all the legends who appeared at Clash of Champions in the ambulance match with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. That was the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Big Show, Christian, and Shawn Michaels. They come out, and then out comes Drew, after HBK gave Drew a big intro. McIntyre says this is pretty cool. Not a lot of people know that he's known these guys for a long time. He go traveling the world with Big Show and Christian. When he first came to the active roster, Ric Flair was still competing, and he thought it was so cool to share a roster with him. HBK throws Ric Flair under the bus, saying if Drew is upset that the legends helped him out, it was kind of his idea, saying that it was Ric's idea. Of course, he is, after all, the dirtiest player in the game. Woo! Of course, McIntyre said that, nope, not at all, after, what happened, to them, getting his comeuppance, and they deserved it. So I thought, okay, good. Not that I'm saying that the feud was bad, but Orton and McIntyre's feud was just running its course. And you could tell it was steamroll. When you have 2 or 3 weeks, when it's nothing but one of them facing Keith Lee, interfering in the other person's match, and costing them the title, and costing them Keith Lee to win it all. Like, you could tell that this feud was hitting its end. But nope, not the case. Randall Keith freaking Orton, appears on the Titantron, and he says this isn't over until he says it is. He doesn't need to beg for anything. He'll be given another title match because he's Randy Orton. And the only reason he's here today is to remind him and everyone else in the ring there's a price to be paid if you cross the line with the Legend Killer. And he's shown leaving. McIntyre says, even though he's not really feeling up to it tonight, he's going to put his title on the line. In an open challenge, he hasn't against someone he hasn't defended the title against yet. Just to, continue to cement himself as one of the best champions of all time. So we're getting that. But also we're getting a continuation of the feud with McIntyre and Orton. I'll talk about that at the end, since, there was something that happened at the end of the show involving this. So we got that to start off with. Then we get Asuka and Zelina Vega in a rematch from 2 nights ago. Why? I don't know. Match was whatever. I mean, it was not as good as it was on Sunday, but we seen the match. It was the same thing. Didn't scream, oh my god, I gotta see a rematch! I didn't care. And of course, Asuka won. And then throughout the night, we're seeing scenes of the 4 legends playing poker backstage. But then we came back from commercial break. In the ring is Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega walking up the ramp in tears. And of course, also, Andrade is now on his own because Angel Garza got hurt at Clash of Champions. He legitimately got hurt. Rumors are it is an ACL injury, which completely sucks for sure. So, as Zelina's leaving, Andrade is in the ring, just tearing her to shreds, saying how Zelina would be nothing without him. Andrade, no. I'm sorry, my friend, but, I mean, all respect to you. I mean, you've improved a lot drastically. I didn't even meet you in person and praise you for your match with Johnny Gargano. I take over Philadelphia, but no offense. If there was no Zelina Vega, there would have never been no you. Zelina Vega, being your business associate, was the turning point of your career. No, it was not dating Charlotte Flair and getting engaged to Charlotte Flair. No. Long before that, Zelina Vega was the one who got you to where you were today. So, that line of, you're nothing without me, Totally opposite. And then he starts trashing Garza also for getting hurt, and I'm like, okay, once again, one week you were beating the crap out of him. The next week, even though Zelina had left both of you, you guys were all, buddy, we're all good, we're going to have a great match, it's awesome, whatnot, and this makes no sense. To him now saying he's the greatest superstar in WWE, and nobody wants to face him until Keith Lee comes out. I don't know if being Charlotte's man is going to save him now, because, of course, he just... Usually, most of the time when you see a heel cutting a set promo basically saying that he's the best of all time, that's usually a cheap, way of saying, we got nothing else for you, and you're basically, going into the doghouse, unfortunately. But Keith Lee came out, which I was a little concerned at first, because I thought at first maybe, since Keith Lee, even though he's had 2 matches now with McIntyre that are interrupted, I thought maybe we're going to the same thing. Lee, who's not actually challenged for the title yet, come out, accept the challenge, and Randy Orton just interferes as always. And I'm like, same old, but seeing this, okay, we're not going to get into it. So the match happens, Keith Lee wins. It was a decent match. Just start building him up again. Give him wins, get those wheels rolling with them. Again, I would say give him a few weeks and maybe a Hell in a Cell, or maybe sometime between Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series. Have Keith Lee challenge Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. I say go for it. I mean, Bobby Lashley to me again could very well at this point challenge McIntyre for the title again and win. So Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley again, he's improved a ton. Again, this Hurt Business has done wonders for him in his career. So if you want to have him drop the U.S. title to Keith Lee, fine by me. But it doesn't look like we're quite going that direction yet, which we'll talk about the Hurt Business shortly. So, Keith Lee beats Andrade with the Spirit Bomb. We then see some footage with the Hurt Business eating lunch, and then some random dude just sits down in Bobby Lashley's seat, and basically they scare him away, and they eat his food. We then see R-Truth playing chess with Little Jimmy. I'm still waiting for Little Jimmy to pin R-Truth to win the 24/7 title. I'm just saying, I'm still waiting for Little Jimmy to pin R-Truth to win the 24/7 title. But we have something where we have R-Truth playing chess, and some guy rolls up with paperwork, and basically it was just a pawn for Akira Tozawa to win the 24/7 title back. But then the guy carrying a suitcase ends up being SmackDown's Drew Gulak. So basically, Tozawa wins the title, then Gulak, then Truth gets it back, and then we're announced that we're having a triple threat match later on in the show for the 24/7 championship. And I'm like, geez, oh man, why? Is a SmackDown superstar again on Raw? Why? I thought this was brand to brand invitational each quarter. Now you're having Braun Strowman show up, Drew Gulak, who's next? At first, I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'm not going to really, fret over too much. But now you're pushing it, WWE. You have a draft coming up in a week and a half. You're pushing it. You're pushing this whole idea of, again, the whole brand invitational. Again, if you dare go back to that stupid wild card rule again, it's going to be... I hated that. Everybody knows how much I hated that wild card rule. Again, this brand-to-brand invitation, limiting how many times you have to go from one brand to the other, I'm okay with that, but you've been doing a little too much of that lately. Showing that you have no depth in your rosters whatsoever. So, again, if WWE would ever just drop the brand split again, I'm only watching one show. Just one show, that's all I'm watching. Because I'm not going to watch a show where basically the same thing's happening on both shows once again. I'm not doing that again. I'm sorry. I'm not. So, yeah, so of course that pissed me off. And then, oh boy. So, it was advertised that we were getting this King's Court segment with the Mysterio family. And I'm instantly just holding back, hiding behind my couch going, I can't look. I can't look. I can't look. I can't look. I know this is going to be bad, and I can't look. I cannot look. So before we had that segment, we see Buddy Murphy chilling backstage. And Seth Rollins walks over to him like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Here's the thing. Delusional Seth Rollins works. Buddy Murphy just not immediately jumping up and pouncing on Rollins' ass doesn't to me. Because at this point, like, who's Rollins going to have to stand up for him? Like, that's my question. Who is Rollins going to have to basically be his heater at this point? AOP's been released. Austin Theory's back in NXT. Is there anybody else? No. So, like, why is Buddy Murphy, like, you know, letting Seth Rollins just tear him apart, beat the shit out of him, yet he's still taking, like, a man every time him and Rollins come and get up to each other? Like, again, why? Like, why isn't Murphy just beating Rollins' ass right now? Complete the face turn and have him feud and have a match at Hell in a Cell. But, anyways, Buddy's all serious. But then Rollins asks him why he's wearing his gear when he doesn't have a match, telling him to go put the suit on he got him, as they're preparing for this King's Court thing. But then Murphy walks away, and when I instantly see this, then I'm like, oh no, I really can't look now. I really can't look. Like, I was terrified. Terrified for that King's Court segment. Because the direction they're going with the storyline, I'm just like, oh god, this is going to be awful. This is going to be so bad. Seth Rollins sees Buddy Murphy's phone, picks it up, and slides it in his pocket inside his suit. And I'm like, oh no, please don't do what I think they're doing. So we go to break. We come back. Jerry the King Lawler is in the ring. He brings out the Mysterio family. Ray says how Seth's been running his mouth, trying to disrupt his family, and it's obvious that Dominic, Aaliyah are his kids, and his beautiful wife Angie and him have worked hard to create a strong, loving family. His kids have been his whole life since the day they were born. And it takes a truly evil, sinful human being to fabricate the kind of lies that Seth Rollins has. Dominic says this has gone on too long and too far. Next time he sees Seth Rollins, he'll put an end to this. Which I'm thinking, Dominic, I love you, homie. I love you. You're doing awesome so far. You gotta move on from Seth, though. You've lost 3 matches in a row to him clean. You know, like, why should I want to see another one? When it's the same result all 3 times. They've been good matches. But like I said, the same results. Like, I'm getting sick of it. Move on to something new. Extending this storyline, the route they're going, which we'll talk about in a second, it's not necessary. It just feels so unnecessary, and I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I want to see Dominic put on other great matches with other performers besides Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. We gotta move on. Gotta move on to something new. So he says that. But then Jerry's like, I want to talk to Aaliyah about what happened last week with Buddy Murphy. Aaliyah gets on the microphone and says she's upset about it and her parents have a certain image of her, but she's 19 and she doesn't know what to think about Murphy. Seth is a bad person, a fraud, and lo and behold, who appears on the Titantron? Seth Rollins. In a suit. Saying he knows he's the last person they want to see, but he has to tell them something important. The truth. Which is, one of them is not being 100% honest with the family. So, he pulls out Murphy's phone. And we see Instagram DM messages between Aaliyah and Buddy Murphy. Basically, Murphy had reached out to her saying, hey, I'm sorry if you're here need to talk. And she's like, okay, cool. I might take up your offer on that. Happy birthday, by the way. Okay, and then everybody gets upset at Aaliyah because she's been talking to Buddy Murphy, and obviously, they have a history with, Murphy, Murphy, being Seth's sidekick. But everybody just looks at her like, are you crazy? She gets up and storms away saying how Murphy isn't like Seth. Ray and Angie chase after her as Seth corners Buddy, who is clearly upset. Murphy tells him he doesn't know anything and grabs him by the lapels. But then Dominic comes out of nowhere and starts attacking Murphy. And then everybody pulls him off and releases a swarm, and they're setting up a match with Murphy and Mysterio and Dominic later on in the show. So, first I will say, I think I got what I expected out of this. It did not make any sense. I don't think it was as cringe-worthy as it was for stuff I've seen in the past on this level. But this storyline still just makes absolutely no sense. Why does Aaliyah Mysterio have to have a storyline on WWE TV? When the fact is, she's not a wrestler. The rumors are having it, she's only taking part of this as an actress. This is not a drama. Well, okay. In some ways, yes, I get it. This is not a show based on acting. This is a wrestling show. A wrestling show. My other gripe is, why was 3 weeks ago, Aaliyah was beating the crap out of Buddy Murphy with the kendo stick as well. She randomly, consoles Buddy Murphy before Hell in a Cell, and now she's saying he's nothing like Seth. When all we've seen them say is, hey, I'm here for you if you need to talk, I might take up your offer on that, and that's it. Unless there's some other deleted messages, how is Aaliyah already believing that Buddy Murphy is not like Seth? Buddy could be very well playing the mind games as well. It's a very forced, okay, people were back and forth last week as this is, either a love story or the fact that Buddy Murphy is actually the father of Aaliyah. I think that got thrown out the window. I think what they were trying to do in that segment last week was have Seth Rollins, bring up the DNA test idea and throw off again about the father, trying to play off that old joke about, Dominic not really being Ray's son. But then he's trying to throw a curveball saying that, there's more to your daughter Aaliyah, though, and it's not the whole father thing. I think they kind of goofed out. I think that's what they were trying to go with. But again, why is the storyline continuing over a non-wrestler? The storyline is continuing for an actor. And here's the thing also, with what I don't like. Well, I'll hold that till I get to the match with Murphy and Dominic. But yeah, this makes no sense. This makes no sense whatsoever. As to why would Aaliyah even have any type of interest or any type of truth to believe that Buddy Murphy is trustworthy after just a, hey, I'm here if you need to talk. There must be more to the messages. If Seth Rollins was wise, he would have shown more messages. But again, it's stupid and it's unnecessary to continue this feud. Dominic's lost to Seth 3 times. Why should we continue this feud? Why? Because they have nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do, so we're going to keep going and 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 going until they feel like stopping. Because I'm pretty sure, again, save a little bit more for whenever we get to the match with Murphy and Dominic. Let's check the live chat yet? Nah. You know what? Actually, yeah, let's do the live chat real quick. Check the live chat. Here's where the show really starts to fall off a cliff. Let me see here. Retribution was not on the show last night. Show Me Around Retribution had the virus. Read it up. I'm hearing rumors that apparently Retribution. Well, I'll kind of give WWE this one because they wouldn't admit that the people sources are at least admitting something to this, but I don't think anybody from Retribution has the virus. I'm hearing the rumors that they were around people recently who had the virus, so that's why they're not going to be on Raw this week or next week, apparently, from my hearing. So at least they came out and said that they were probably like not medically cleared. They literally said online that hey they were around people with the virus, so they can't be around. Okay. Also, I wonder if it's the same case with Cedric Alexander, because he wasn't on Raw. Well, he was at that Clash of Champions. He wasn't on Raw last night either, but who knows. So, we have that. What's up, Elite Squad? Gave the show a C. Nice seeing Rude main event and have a world title match. Andrade will get buried and super lost in the shuffle after leaving both Garza and Zelina. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't think being Charlotte's man is going to save him this time. I heard we did have Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar. I spelled Escobar wrong in my card predictions last night, by the way. By the way, I know I said I wasn't going to do card predictions for TakeOver 31, but I gave you know what? If I'm really not going to be able to throw anything big and fancy together, again, just do the the cheap graphics that I did. Well, basically pull a WB and not do any solo, graphics. Just show the match. That's what I'm going to do now from now on for shows that I just don't have the time to do card predictions for, just to throw, a few more views out there for me. So yeah, I don't that's why I did the card predictions in the end for TakeOver 31. But yes, Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott got added. About time to give the Cruiserweights a title match on an NXT TakeOver show. Let me see here. Sasha versus Bayley is planned to main event Hell in a Cell. I've heard that rumors as well, as it probably should. Talkers asked, why is Lana still here? Elite Squad saying why he's a Lana hater. She deserves to be in WWE even though her ring skills still suck. And of course, I'm still surprised she's still here because Rusev left. Well, he got released. WWE released him. But yeah, I am some kind of surprised she still stayed also, but whatever. Like I said, they've made Lana super annoying in my opinion. Like I said before, I kind of can't stand her on my TV. No offense, but again, she just comes across as a delusional idiot now. Do you know the Aleister Black and Zelina Vega? Yeah, I knew that they were married. Oh yeah, I knew that for a long time. The 12/7 title match got 5 minutes. Unbelievable. It's it'd always be 2 minutes long. Who knows? I don't really care anyways about the 24/7 title. We all know we hate the wild card rule, Tyler, and R-Truth is gold as 24/7 champion. He is, but that belt still is pointless. It's so pointless. I'm sorry. I just hate that belt. The freaking. Yes, it's a little thing to kind of play off of R-Truth, being champion, and again, it has in some ways made it feel relevant, but like I said, it's just a big Fisher Price toy to me. It's nothing special. I'm sorry, it's nothing special. But let's get on now with this review. As we have Natalya and Lana in the ring, saying how, of course, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were not able to defend their titles last night, and how they should be stripped of them and given to the rightful people that belongs to. The boat. Of course, once again, I'm wondering still myself, what has Lana and Natalya done to even deserve a Raw Tag title match? Oh, that's right, I forgot. Remember, guys, if you just want an opportunity, all you gotta do is ask. You know how much I hate that. So, Lana and Natalya could be losing all their matches, yet they want to get an opportunity for the tag titles. So, Adam Pearce comes out, and he says he can't just strip Nia and Shayna the titles, but in the spirit of competition, he'll give them a match against the newest members of the Raw Women's Division. First comes out Mandy Rose, who's been advertised for a couple weeks that she's coming to Raw. She's arrived, and her tag team partner, Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke. Why? Because they're two blondes. They're two blondes. That's all the reason why. They have a match. Mandy and Dana win. I care about Dana. I care about Mandy. Don't really care much about Dana. You brought Mandy Rose to Raw just to be a tag team with Dana Brooke. Oh boy. Talk about long-term storytelling. All the grooming you did with Mandy Rose and her storyline with Otis. Hopefully, they're still not going to act like they're not a couple anymore. Who the heck knows? That, and then, just putting her on Raw for no reason after all she developed in the storyline with Sonya Deville. Again, I still thought Sonya, because my thing is, if they're going to, be having this Bayley and Sasha feud go on for quite a while, Sonya's not winning the championship on SmackDown. I still thought they should have put Sonya on Raw once she comes back from, taking care of what she has to do with, her stuff with the recent events that occurred in her life, which, once again, do pray that she gets through that pretty well. I just thought Sonya should have gone to Raw and been the one to dethrone Asuka. I still feel that. But now they have Mandy Rose already on Raw, and they're split. They don't have her on the same show as Otis. Why? Unless if Otis moves over to Raw, which I don't know if that's going to happen either. So I don't know what's going with this. So we have that, and now let's roll on to something that really hurt this show for me. Well, first we get this segment, this promo, with Aleister Black kind of appearing from the dark, which was a sick, effect. He says that Kevin Owens thinks himself as a good man, and yet bad things happen. It doesn't matter how people forgive him for what he's done. He won't forget. He takes off his eye patch to reveal that his right eye is black now. And he then fades out to black into the background. Okay, interesting effects. But then we get the match. Kevin Owens comes out. Well, first we had a segment backstage with the Street Profits and the Legends playing poker. And then here comes Aleister Black out. He didn't black out, no. Aleister Black came out with new theme music. Root of All Evil is gone. Root of All Evil is gone. Let's pause for a moment of silence here. Let's just remember that brilliant theme song that to me was just we gotta just sit back here, a moment of silence, and just remember Root of All Evil.
After Afghanistan, I wrote a book called
Stupid ads ruin it. Farewell to the Root of All Evil, one of the best theme songs that ever existed in the WWE and NXT. The first moment I heard that song, it made me instantly a fan of Aleister Black. One of the most badass themes could ever exist, in my opinion. They say that no man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. Just an awesome theme song to badassly introduce a new star in WWE or in NXT. And it worked. Gave Aleister Black a ton of success. He wanted to be NXT champion. He won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with Ricochet. Had a couple good matches when he came to the main roster with Cesaro and Buddy Murphy. Unfortunately, though, It's time to say goodbye to the root of all evil. Why? I mean, the new theme song seems thought out. It looked like it did have some sort of thought put into it. But, it's not the root of all evil. It's not. Like why did you didn't have to change the theme song. Aleister Black's heel character, whatever this heel character is, we'll get into that in a second, could have still gone with root of all evil. Still could have done it, but probably because, the crowd, enjoys it, they have to make a different one just to make the crowd hate it. And then the match happens. What kind of a match was this? Two former NXT champions put under an underwhelming match. Another underwhelming match. Aleister Black barely did anything in this match. I mean, only part I really remember was Kevin Owens doing that freaking, raspberry flop swanton, jumping a little bit further than he looked like he could have off the apron, doing it onto Aleister on the floor. That was pretty sick. But most of the match, Aleister Black was just throwing punches at Kevin Owens, setting up. It was like 2 or 3 times he's trying to set up for it. A pump kick. A pump kick that couldn't, when he finally hit it, could not put Kevin Owens away. They were treating this pump kick as it was going to be like the finishing touch on Kevin Owens. Aleister Black did not throw one black mass in this match. And that scares me. Are they going to take away the black mass now? You took away his theme music, you turned him heel, and you have no direction for him whatsoever. Kevin Owens has no direction whatsoever. And all Aleister Black can throw is a freaking pump kick. And the match ends for no reason when Aleister Black is brawling with Owens, throws an elbow back and bumps the referee and disqualifies him, and Aleister Black flips out. This did nothing. This match did nothing for Kevin Owens. They did nothing for Aleister Black. Yes, I get it. They're now trying to play the storyline of, okay, Kevin Owens is trying to earn his trust because he's done a lot of bad things in the past, like any typical heel would do after they turn face. Owens has been a face now for over a year, and he's felt directionless for how long? Because he's done nothing but feud with Seth Rollins and Shane McMahon for the past year and a half now. And now Aleister Black, who literally, again, Aleister Black is the perfect man that should have gotten a rocket ship push when he got to the main roster. And honestly, he was on his way to that because of one man, Paul Heyman. The moment Paul Heyman gets let go as the executive director of Monday Night Raw, there goes Aleister Black's push. There goes Apollo Crews' push. There goes Andrade's push. There goes how many other people who were supposed to get a push because Paul Heyman wanted to push them. As soon as he's gone, their push goes away. Aleister Black does not. This was not Aleister Black we saw tonight. Not the Aleister Black I became a fan of 3 years ago when he debuted at NXT TakeOver Orlando with that badass theme music, Root of All Evil. I hated this match because it's the beginning of the destruction of Aleister Black. The Aleister Black that Vince McMahon wants to create. Not the Aleister Black that was already established and brought to the main roster. Again, why call it developmental if you're just going to make them something completely different get to the main roster? Why? Seriously, I tweeted Vince and I'm like, you ruined Aleister Black, you're going to regret it. He is on the verge of ruining Aleister Black, and I can't believe I'm saying that. They're making Aleister Black now into just another guy on the roster. Nothing unique. Just different theme music, and eye patch, and can only throw a freaking pump kick. A pump kick is the only move this guy can throw now. Made me so mad. Like, if of all things, yes, I expected the stuff with the Mysterios to be bad. And, the other stuff that got dragged on. This, though, pissed me off most on this show. This. The destruction of Aleister Black, unfortunately, has begun. And there's nothing to do about it. So I'm going to remember all this great stuff Aleister Black's done before this heel turn. Because, I mean, quite frankly, again, I didn't mind him turning heel. I thought it made sense. But the fact that Vince has soured on him, and now he's making him something completely different, that's just not doing anything for him, nothing for Kevin Owens either, it's just made me upset. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy about that at all. So I'm going to remember Aleister Black's run in NXT, and the fact that he, got to be in the roster and had some good matches with Cesaro. He had good matches with Buddy Murphy. Even the couple he had with Seth Rollins were pretty good. Other than that, it's just, he's gone. Aleister Black, bye-bye. That man we knew, bye-bye. They're ruining Aleister Black now. Yeah, they're ruining Aleister Black. Vince, you... makes me mad. Oh, but also, forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. There was no Raw Underground tonight. No Raw Underground. No hype for it. No announcement about it. No nothing. Has Raw Underground now been dropped now like nothing ever happened? Maybe. We'll probably see that again as, things that were randomly there and it just ended. Raw Underground may very well be that. So, that happened. We have the Hurt Business backstage run into Apollo, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali, and then they basically set up for a 6-man tag match later in the show. We had that 24/7 title triple threat match between Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, and R-Truth. Did you care, guys? No, I do not. R-Truth retained. He won with an attitude adjustment because of his childhood hero, John Cena. Once again, R-Truth is 10, well, I won't say 10. R-Truth is probably a good 7 to 10 years older than John Cena. So this is, of course, still ridiculous. Anyways, well, first before you get to the next match, I gotta say, Dominic, my friend, Dominic Mysterio, you young lad, you're a very talented SOB. But I must say, when you get Mandy Rose eyeing you up, you got some problems. Even though, once again, I still have my Deonna Purrazzo autographed photographs of her wish me happy birthday on my desk up here. I'm not going to keep showing them off, but still, when Mandy Rose gives you the eyeballs, we have Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke interviewed backstage, basically saying that, they're going to eventually win the women's tag titles. And then they look over as they see somebody, and they see Dominic Mysterio warming up for his match. And then we have the match with Dominic Mysterio and Buddy Murphy. Murphy comes out first, and then out comes Mysterio, obviously angry, and of course, just seeing the entrance and the way it looked like he was just walking to the ring saying, okay, I'm going to have a match. He's like, no, I'm coming out to beat the shit out of a man who's freaking, trying to, get into my sister's mind. All I did this whole match was literally just tweet stuff and tag my sister in it. Just joking around about so much crap. I'm like, yeah, this is because my sister just got engaged about a month ago. Actually, a month ago exactly today, believe it or not. So, happy 1 month engagement, sis. So I kept saying, it's a good thing my sister's not dating someone 10 years older than me that I have to go beat up for, not being approved of, pretty much. And I'm just making these jokes the whole time. I hope my sister didn't get sick of me just tagging her in all these tweets. And also, the GIFs. So, the match happens, and the match actually was pretty good. I mean, I feel like, they brought out a more aggressive side of Dominic, at least, even though, again, this makes no sense at all why they're continuing it. So, he's beating down Murphy, and then towards the end of the match, out comes Aaliyah, saying, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! He's not Seth! He's not like Seth! Again, I'm just like, what proof do you have if all of you said, hey, I'm here if you need to talk? Hey, I'm here if you need to talk. All of a sudden, oh my goodness, he's nothing like Seth! And then Dominic pulls out a kendo stick, and again, Aaliyah's begging him off to do it. But off the distraction, Murphy rolls up Dominic with the tights to win the match. So great. Now Aaliyah is costing her own brother her matches. And then afterwards, there's two kids just out there bickering. Basically, first he's attacking Murphy with the kendo stick. Aaliyah begs him to stop. but Dominic's like, I'm just protecting the legacy of our family. Dad was right. You are naive. Aaliyah slaps Dominic across the face and walks out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then here's the thing also. Part of it, yes, I won't deny, Aaliyah Mysterio is a good-looking young woman. So I found her Instagram. And let me put it this way. If the whole idea of Aaliyah is just to be an actress, which once again, this isn't a show meant to put over actresses, it's there to put over wrestling storyline content. Like, for real, like, you know, like here's the thing. If the long-term idea is for Aaliyah to be Buddy Murphy's valet, like, how's it going to work when she literally has no wrestling abilities at all whatsoever? And also, looking at her Instagram, it does not look like she's staying in character. She's still posting stuff with, like, her and her mom, you know, act like they're all cool and chill and whatnot. And, you know, she's posting, you know, stuff with, like she's a typical, like, you know, teenage girl with a boyfriend. She posts that stuff about that, so it's like she's not staying in character too well on social media right now. I mean, yes, she's just getting started as an actress, but no offense, she's not doing a good job so far. She's staying in character on social media, because WWE will get you for, you know, doing that. Like, this just makes no sense. Again, like, why is she sticking up for Murphy, who literally just said, hey, I am here if you need to talk? How does that make him not like Seth? Like, that's just, it makes no freaking sense. It literally does not. It makes no sense that the storyline has now gone from, you know, Ray to his son, which I'm fine with, because again, Dominic actually is good in the ring. His microphone skills, yeah, they still need some work, but he's improving. To now Aaliyah. What's next? Seth Rollins gonna make up some story about how Angie Mysterio had an affair. It's like, this doesn't need to drag on and get any others involved. We don't need to have Aaliyah Mysterio getting a spotlight for no reason. Why? Because Vince McMahon, watch what I'm saying here, but because Vince McMahon wishes he could have that. Again, I still swear Vince McMahon only gives spotlights to the women he wishes he could have. Because he can't write himself, you know, getting all over these women like he used to do back in the Attitude Era. Which I still thought was kind of sick. But, like, again, it's just like, why are we doing this? Like, what is this going to do? Aaliyah Mysterio, I'm sorry, cannot carry a storyline like this. She's 19 years old. Okay, now me, Rey Mysterio, saying she's naive and whatnot. But seriously, why are we expecting a 19-year-old girl who's just an actress to carry this storyline? When again, it didn't need to happen. Seriously, what happened when they did to Murphy a couple weeks ago with the kendo sticks, all of them beaten down, including Aaliyah, who believes, he's nothing like Seth! He's nothing like Seth! That should have been them doing that to Seth Rollins. And just ending this feud. It's gone on way too long. Way too long. Completely unnecessary. So yeah, I tweeted all the jokes to my sister about how this is us. Such as when we did our Geometry War videos in high school. And basically the storyline was, it was supposed to be a Star Wars themed thing. She got captured by my best friend who was playing a guy named Luke Spacewalker, because he had to change the names. Basically I said, hey Steph, where have you been? I don't know, trapped with a madman for 10 years? And she slapped me as jokingly to be funny. This was not being funny. This is just stupid. And of course, also apparently Alexa Bliss, and I even saw it on Twitter, was getting you know, people, you know, chewing at her about, you know, about this storyline. And she's just like kind of, you know, just saying it's my ex doing what he's got to do, pretty much. And just plus two, you know, if you're going to play about the age, you know, I'm 29, my boyfriend's 38. Even though again, Murphy is 31 or 32 and Aaliyah's 19. I mean, I wouldn't be dating someone that young yet, my opinion, but that's just my preference. So who knows? I don't know. I just feel weird about dating people super duper much younger than me. I guess, who knows? I don't know. But yeah, again, the storyline is stupid. I don't like it. And again, it does not... we do not have to have Aaliyah Mysterio get a spotlight. I mean, yes, she's a beautiful young woman. I'm not going to deny that. But just for her to be an actress, she doesn't need to get a spotlight for this. And again, she's going to continue, just post on social media like, nothing's going on, like not stay in character either. Because apparently, even though, like I said, what people do on social media should be private. It's just, what they want to do with their lives. But obviously, the way Vince McMahon is, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just moving on from this because I still think this storyline is just so stupid. Anyways, let's move on. Wow, it's almost been an hour for this stream. I've really ranted a lot. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on now from this. We first see Dolph Ziggler backstage telling Adam Pearce that he has the perfect man for Drew McIntyre. And he's like, Dolph, that's not going to mean you. You've already tried to retire. He goes, oh, I know, but come to the office. We have more to discuss. That's where I'm like, okay, I know who it is. And I'm like, cool with me as long as they give it a good match. Which we'll get to that at the end. So I was pretty certain what it was going to be. And I knew that it was going to be absolutely glorious! Anyways. So, we then have the Hurt Business come out. They call Apollo Crews out. MVP says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Right, Vince? That's exactly you as well. And how they keep saying he got dropped, which that was cool. Finally, the babyfaces come out. We have a match with Apollo Crews, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet take on the Hurt Business. And fun match, but again, we've seen this match how many times. The babyfaces won and gained the pinfall victory on MVP was Mustafa Ali, which I'm surprised because he was the latest victim of the Riddick Moss burial, pretty much to me. So I'm surprised to see that. I mean, I was pushing to see maybe Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee for something different, but again, it looks like we're going to be maybe getting Mustafa Ali and Bobby Lashley first. Hey, continue to have the same people going after the Hurt Business. Jeez, oh man. Things just continuing, and it just drives me nuts. So we got that. That poker game is still going on. Oh, and during the match, though, we had the flashes of Retribution's logo and whatnot, but again, it didn't appear. So we didn't get to the main event. Drew McIntyre comes out, waiting to see who that challenger is, and then Dolph Ziggler finally comes out. He gets to the ringside and says, "This is going to be special." Points the fingers, and then the lights go out, playing that music. Drum roll, glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend, and just saying, because I probably said this before. Well, first off, obviously, yes, it was Robert Roode making his return. The first time I believe he's been in action since the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match back in March, because he was stuck. He was stuck in Canada due to the virus and was not able to get out until recently. But he makes his return and he accepts the challenge for Drew McIntyre's open challenge for the WWE Championship. Again, it was just super obvious after Dolph Ziggler appearing that it was going to be his tag team partner making his return. Goodness, I'm trying. I was going to go somewhere before we get to the match. I was going to go somewhere with this. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. Yeah, my mom was walking past the room at the same time. One time ages ago, she walked into the living room while I was watching Raw or SmackDown, whichever show Roode was on at the time, and she sees Bobby Roode making his entrance. The first thing she asks is, "Why is that guy wearing a bathrobe?" You don't want to know. I didn't tell her that it got peed on by Drake Maverick, but yeah, she's walking past at the same time he comes out. I'm like, oh boy. She's like, what? She goes, it's bathrobe guy. I'm like, Mom. So yeah, Bobby Roode, aka bathrobe guy, according to my mom, glorious Robert Roode makes his return. and he has this match with Drew McIntyre. And I believe it's the first time since their match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, they've had a match, which is when Drew McIntyre won the NXT title off of, at the time, Bobby Roode. Now he is Robert Roode. And I gotta say, this is a pretty good match. Maybe because of the piped-in crowd, I don't know, but I actually thought this was a really good match. And I actually kind of like this a little bit better than their TakeOver match yet. Their TakeOver match was okay. I don't know if the crowd just was kind of tired out or whatnot, or if this just didn't have... I don't know, Drew McIntyre, was just getting back on his roots, and, he had just gotten back, so I think, he was still growing on the fans again. So I think that one was just okay. That still, to me, is probably one of the weaker main events in NXT TakeOver has had, in my opinion. But it was still decent. But I thought this match was much better. And to me, one of Robert Roode's best performances on the main roster. Yes, he's not had the best run on the main roster. I wouldn't say he's had the worst. But, again, the thing that just killed him was the fact that he was a babyface. When he's a heel and he's getting his opportunities, he is making the most out of them. Like last fall, whenever he I remember there was a gauntlet match where that's when they were hyped up for that Universal title match. They had a gauntlet match, and they have a Universal title match on the Raw season premiere, the Go Home show for Hell in a Cell last year. Remember that show? Yeah, that horrible show last year with The Fiend and Seth Rollins ruining Hell in a Cell. But I remember Robert Roode was the runner-up in that gauntlet match. And of course, Rey Mysterio won it, but then Rey got taken out and Rusev took his place. That's the night we revealed that Bobby Lashley and Lana are an item, and for crowd, let's not go there. But anyways, I still remember that match, and I remember Robert Roode just really stood out to me in that match. I thought that was... It showed me, if you let Robert Roode just be a heel, just be a natural heel like he was, just be that rich, snobby guy who thinks he has the world in his hands. Yes, he doesn't do super duper high-flying styles. He's super old school, but keeping it simple, the simple tactics he does, that's all he needs. That is all he needs to stand out. And I thought he looked great in this match. He had great psychology, going after the legs of McIntyre throughout the entire match, and just a bunch of other spots. Again, he looked like a legitimate main event competitor in this match. And I sure hope they continue to book him like that, because he looked excellent. And I still think he's got it. That glorious theme music, to me, is still one of the best things ever. Yes, they made him feel like just an entrance on the main roster as a babyface. But again, book him Ray, let him wrestle matches like he did tonight, and he's going to be fine. I hope that was not the only opportunity to see Robert Roode get for a singles title again on the main roster. Because again, that was easily, in my opinion, probably his best match on the main roster so far. Just so hats off to him. Because that was absolutely glorious of a main event. So a really good match. McIntyre won within the Claymore. Again, Roode worked on the legs of McIntyre, since of course McIntyre had hurt his leg the night before with the Claymore kicking off the ambulance door. But he worked on that very well. Again, I just thought it was a really good match. But then that was the end of the show. Afterwards, we go backstage. We see a janitor pushing a cart full of cleaning supplies. And then he slides a chair off the back of the cart, and he goes down the hallway to the Legends poker room. Takes off the gloves and his hood, and it's Randy Orton. He then grabs a pair of night vision goggles, puts them on, steps inside the Legends room, shuts off the lights, and proceeds to, kayfabe-wise, beat down on all four of them, 4-on-1, with the night vision goggles with a steel chair. And then he walks out and tries to hide again. It's just like... Again, why are you continuing this McIntyre and Orton feud? Okay, it's one thing if, it was a fluke win at one point. McIntyre has beaten Orton twice! Twice! And yes, the main person that Orton the person needs to give Orton his comeuppance is Edge. But Edge is not ready to be back yet. But you still had all these legends give him his comeuppance last night. Just for him to fire back and basically say, hey, I can do whatever I want to get another title match. And again, my thing is you can do that how many times in a row? How many times in a row is it going to be? Move on to something different. I'm sorry, did they have good matches? Yes, they did. But again, McIntyre's won twice. And last night with having the legends get their comeuppance and McIntyre even punting Orton to end the match, put the exclamation point on it. So why are we continuing this feud? God knows. Who knows why? Because obviously Orton saying, he's going to give him hell, means it's going to be a Hell in a Cell match. You do not need to continue this feud. Yes, they did the work. Yes, it was good. Yes, it started to wear out towards the end. But again, it accomplished what it needed to do. Move on to something different, please. But yeah, that was Raw. Again, it was a mixed bag for me. There was stuff I did enjoy. The opening segment was nice. I liked the main event. I thought was really good. Los Angeles stuff was what it was, but of course that stuff with the Mysterios was bad. The stuff with Aleister Black, for crying out loud, just crawled on my skin like no tomorrow. I gave the show a C. I gave it a C. So, and then let's see what people voted on Twitter before I check the live chat. So 6 votes on this. 16.7% said A, 16.7% said B, 66.7% said C. Nobody said D or lower. Again, I give the show a C. A C, mixed bag of results on the show. Anyways, live chat. Let me see what we get here. Get rid of these women's tag titles, I agree. Vince McMahon's storyline when him and Sable, I think that's one. Charlotte Flair got a big push, and he thinks that Lars Sullivan will be back in the draft. Fine by me. Again, I'm fine with seeing Lars coming back. Just don't have him reciting nursery rhymes to the Lucha House Party. How do I remember that? I do not know. I just remember one of the last things I saw of Lars Sullivan before he suffered a severe knee injury last year was him reciting a nursery rhymes to the Lucha House Party. 3 Blind Mice. Like, ugh, gosh. Oh, goodness. So, WWE killed Aleister Black and Kevin Owens, drowning in on either because the coronavirus underground 8-man win last night. What? I'm not sure what I'm talking about. They're killing NXT people. Oh, they're killing NXT people because, once again, Vince didn't create them. Vince did not create them. He hates NXT that much, he's doing whatever he can to ruin them on live TV. Such as Dijakovic and Mia Yim in Retribution right now, which I'll do turn alerts on them maybe tonight, who knows. They gave up on Raw Underground. Sammy showed Raw. It was a fatal 5-way match. The Zabronis. Vince is going to answer Drew McIntyre's challenge. Who knows? But, yeah, guys, it's been over an hour. I don't think I've done a Raw review this long in a long time. Again, there was a lot to talk about. A lot to rant about on this show. But it is over, so that's going to do it for this mixed bag episode of Results of Raw. So, yeah. So, tomorrow night, I'm going to watch NXT. I usually watch AEW first, but again, because there's a pay-per-view this Sunday, even though it's not one of the best hype takeovers, I will be real about that. I'm going to watch NXT first. That way I get the final card together. And, of course, do preview and predictions. And I'll watch AEW on Thursday night. Friday, SmackDown. And then Sunday I'm going to be going with my friends to watch TakeOver. So I'll do a review either Sunday night when I get home if I'm not too tired. Or I'll do it on Monday. And that's going to be that. And and at some point I will do Hell in a Cell predictions. And I may, at some point also, for my special live streams, I'm going to try to do predictions for the upcoming draft. So, with that being said, guys, thank you all for joining me live, especially to Tyler and Junior Campbell and Elite Squad as well. Thank you guys for joining me live for this live review of Raw. And guys, what are your thoughts on this episode of Raw? Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe to my channel. And follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. And with that, guys, I'm out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good rest of the night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.